On my termination from Ross Dress for Less. A prepared statement. As you may have seen reported, my employment at Ross Dress for Less came to an abrupt, non-mutual end on Friday, August 11th. Ordinarily, I would be content to not comment on situations such as this, as it quickly dissolves into mudslinging, and I personally prefer to keep my shirts stainless. However, the egregious falsehoods that have been spread by management are tarnishing my character, and I have been left with no choice but to make, in plain terms, a statement that would set the record straight and exonerate myself from some dangerous allegations. For background, on multiple occasions, management had approached me during the working day to question the activities I was doing and whether or not they were an efficient use of company time. Regardless of what the actual activities I were performing were, these comments were objectively condescending. I cannot stand being spoken down to. When I am spoken down to, I grow frustrated and can act erratically. Management was well aware of this, and yet they would continue to question me day in and day out, ceaselessly poking the proverbial bear to see what kind of reaction would eventually come. On the morning of Friday, August 11th, management approached me while I was using a store kiosk to waddle around in an archived version of the internet game Club Penguin. I would continue to argue that this is a valuable use of company time, as customizing the clothes on my Penguin avatar allows me to better relate to the customers at Ross Dress for Less and better recommend them clothing items that might be in their style. During a particularly successful session of the Pizzatron 3000 minigame, management approached me and asked what I was doing. Anyone familiar with the Pizzatron 3000 minigame is well aware that it requires a lot of concentration in the later rounds, so I did not respond immediately. Management repeated their question, and I repeated my silence. Shortly thereafter, I lost on my own accord and explained myself. Management was not satisfied with my explanation and stated that most of my coworkers are making better decisions than me with regards to time usage. This is when I raised my voice. The concept that some decisions are hierarchically better than others offended my principles, and I assertively, not aggressively, explained my offense to management. I was told, very condescendingly, that there was no need to raise my voice. I did not throw the computer at him. The reports that I threw the computer at him following his "no need to raise your voice" comment are highly erroneous. I hope I am making myself clear on this point. What actually occurred was I stood quickly from my seated position, and at some point during this process, the computer was knocked from its counter and directly onto management's foot. This was simple misadventure, no malice or intent. Anyone with eyes could have seen it as such. Mysteriously, the security camera footage that must have captured this incident remains unreleased. I will admit that I did intentionally knock over several clothing racks following management's bombardment of accusations. I am not proud of this fact, but I put forward that anyone in my position would take an out-of-character action in an attempt to stop the incessant cries of, "You threw a computer at me, you threw a computer at my foot's broken, my foot is broken, you threw a computer at my foot, you threw a computer at my foot and broke it because I asked you to stop playing Club Penguin at work." I have no doubt that the computer landing on management foot was certainly painful, but to continually shout out full sentences while supposedly in pain read to me as a deliberate set of daggers on the psyche, hence my throwing over of the clothing racks as a response to get him to stop. Finally, I must address the unrelated 4th of July fabrication. While I did set off Roman candles in the store, I certainly never pointed them at anyone's eyes. That would have been dangerous. The twisting of my appropriate and understandable level of patriotism into something sinister truly speaks to management's desire to defame my character at all costs. I will never apologize for loving my country. Hopefully you can now see that my termination from Ross Dress for Less was far from the black and white affair that many would wish you to believe. I am currently still seeking new employment and hope to do so at a place that listens twice as much as it speaks. I hope you will all continue to support myself and my endeavors during this period of transition.